Check it out. In this video, we're going to start a new series. We're going to be doing a full cartoon drawing of my 2015 Mustang. His name is Sterling, and he's awesome. This video is going to cover just the pencil stage of the actual drawing, but we're also going to have a conversation on finding a good job as an artist. And I'm going to give you the number one thing as an artist that you need to learn in order to get yourself a great job. First, we're going to talk about this piece that I started here. I did a really rough sketch in a notebook during like one of my family Zoom meetings and everything like that. And I thought, man, you know what? It's got really good attitude. Even though it's just a thumbnail, there's no detail or anything. I kind of really like this piece, so I'm going to work it up. So what I did was I took that piece in the notebook, I scanned it, 300 DPI, brought it into Photoshop, got the file all set up, and then what I did was I started using this new pencil brush that I just came across. The brush comes from sketchaday.com, and I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can go and get it. I think it was, I don't know, 14 bucks or something like that, and you get this whole brush and marker and pen set. And I actually ended up using at least 2 of the brushes in the set while I was working on this piece. What I'm going to do next is take the redrawing of the initial drawing that I did. I'm going to change its color, put a layer above it, and then I'm going to re-pencil this piece again. And as we go along this video, you're going to see that I'm going to repeat this process, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times, to make sure that my pencil gets the type of line and the type of look that I want. This process, it's a lot like old school animation where you would put a piece of tracing paper over something that you just did and then redraw and redraw and redraw until you got it to where you wanted it. I'm doing the exact same thing, except for this is all digital and this is in Photoshop. Each one of these stages, it's probably taking me somewhere between 30-40 minutes or something like that to go over the pencil lines from the previous stage. I really like this process though because I get a chance to fix mistakes that I see and make the actual foundation of the drawing better before I really start getting into the inking and the rendering stages, which if you follow this series, you'll get a chance to see later on. All right, you get the gist of what's going on here with the drawing. So let's start to talk about our topic for today, and that's finding a good job as an artist. There are many industries out there that hire people with art schools. I mean, just in my experience alone, I've worked in aerospace, medical software, auto part supplies, engineering companies, government compliance companies, and also educational institutions. The crazy part is only one of those jobs does not have anything to do with the current job that I have. So what's an instructional technologist? Basically, in many jobs nowadays, you may have to go online to take a course to, remain qualified for your job, or maybe this is something that they want you to learn about the company or how to be a manager or, any of those other things. I mean, maybe they want to teach you how to not, harass people at work, right? Well, I am the person that builds those courses that you take in your online education. And it's a great job. It's very, very cool to have an opportunity to develop these courses that all of these people are taking across all of these industries and it's fun. To be frank, it's great. So that's what an instructional technologist does. In my role as an instructional technologist, my duties include writing educational content. I create course storyboards. I work with subject matter experts to build courses. I package the courses for online delivery. I manage a learning management system so people can take these courses. I do videos, I create documentation, and yeah, I do graphics too, which is crazy. From a graphic tool point of view, I use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Acrobat, Audition, After Effects, and Premiere on a pretty regular basis in my day-to-day job. And that's a lot of the Adobe Creative Suite, but that's not the thing that you need to know to get a good job as an artist. I mean, lots of artists know those programs. So what is it that gives you an advantage? Now, we're gonna save that for later, and we're gonna go back and talk about the art just a little bit more. Okay, let's talk about the plan of this drawing. First, I'm going to lock down my pencil because I want that to be tight before I go into inking. But this time on the interior lines, I'm going to ink the lines really, really thin. I'm going to lock the transparency on those ink lines, and then I'm going to color those ink lines to match the surrounding tones. And that's going to create a no line art look to this piece. I mean, it's still going to be there, but you know, it's not necessarily going to look like the whole thing was like completely outlined and everything. The only part of this that I did not do digitally was the initial sketch that I did in the notebook when we were having my family Zoom meeting. So this is actually pretty fun. So, all right, you made it this far. Let's go over the number one thing, in my opinion, that you can do to get a great job as an artist. That is learn Microsoft Office. I'm not kidding. Microsoft Office is the number one software application in the country. It runs America. Minimal skills in Word, PowerPoint, and Excel are more valuable to many companies than advanced skills in the Adobe Creative Suite. Why do I say that? Well, knowing how to design and build in the number one software package businesses use means you represent the complete package. The language of business and art are not the same. I mean, try explaining the Pantone color matching system to a senior level software company executive. Unless she or he is an artist, they won't get it. If you have the ability to work in the applications they do understand, your ability to translate makes you a communicator. If you can take a Word file or a PowerPoint file done by a non-designer and turn it into a dynamic, awesome-looking document or presentation, you are a superstar in the eyes of a senior team lead or an executive. And the same goes for the ability to take a plain Excel spreadsheet and turn it into a formatted, color-coded data sheet that tells the story they want to tell. Now, you may know of my daughter. She's doing great on IG. I'll put a link in the description. I told her and my son many times for years, learn Office. Why? Because instead of working at Starbucks, you can work at the Starbucks corporate office. Feel me? Now, there are many online resources for training in Office. Udemy is my favorite, and I'll put a link to their courses in the description so that you can go through them and learn Office. Doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's the kind of thing that will take your art career to the next level, and that's something that you want. So now let me give you my 5 benefits of knowing Microsoft Office. Number 1, the added skill set separates you from the pack. Everybody can do graphics, maybe not as good as you, but it takes more to stand out, because unless your aerospace CEO is also like an art director on the side, she or he won't know the difference. Office helps. Number 2, you are qualified to work for any large or small business in America. And I think that's self-explanatory. They all use it, you know it, you got your foot in the door. Number 3, knowing Office places you in a position for advancement. You can speak 2 languages. You know Office and you know art. That is awesome. Number 4, as you pursue your freelance career, that's what you want to do, you're going to get benefits. You're going to get 401ks. I mean, heck, you might even get stock options. What that means is you have stability in your life. You are not necessarily chasing paycheck to paycheck, going through that hard freelance grind. You have yourself a job that affords you the opportunity to pursue your freelance career and build it at the pace that you want to build it, and you don't got to be hungry at the same time, you know? And last but certainly not least, you can always get a job anywhere. I mean, anywhere in the country that you want to go to. Always. If you know Office, you can work in any office. That is cool. I'm just saying. Okay, I think that's about it for this video. You can see the pencil thing is pretty set. We're getting ready to move the Mustang over and start doing the inking thing. Let me know in the comments what you think about my whole Microsoft Office position. I'm willing to have that discussion if you want to have that. Make sure that you LSB, which I guess is a thing, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any other topics that you want to discuss concerning art, business, and how people like us manage to live as artists full time. In the next video, I think we'll go over the inking of this Mustang for sure, but maybe we'll talk about getting an art job during a pandemic. Actually, I lost an art job during a pandemic and then got another one during a pandemic, so that might be something fun to talk about. Anyway, F606, I'm out.